Hi, everybody. I'm Stacey Castor, and I'm here with my good friend Tracy Ann Palmer. We are senior leaders, and we are passionate about leadership development. We're doing this Resilient Leader series, and in our last video, we discussed what is a resilient leader. Today, we want to talk about why you want to be a resilient leader. So, as a reminder, resiliency is about the ability to bounce back from something stressful or negative. And it's ensuring that you are best fit to manage and act upon those tough moments in your life. So, there's some great stories about how resiliency directly impact performance, employee engagement, and talent recruitment and retention. Tracy Ann, what are some of the learnings that you've seen from these studies?
The one that I've always really enjoyed is the one from McKinsey, which reviewed the organizational resiliency and the financial performance during the pandemic and the financial crisis of 2008. And the results showed a direct relationship with a healthy or resilient organization performed financially better, where unhealthy, less resilient organizations often resulted in bankruptcy. Fascinating. Also, a majority of the CEOs and boards are right now putting resilience as a strategic priority. And the reason they're doing this is because it has been proven that when you have a resilient organization, you attract more talent and you retain your top talent at a higher rate for an organization than those that are not. It's very interesting that there's a direct correlation there.
Yeah. It's really amazing how strengthening your resilience directly impacts your effectiveness as a leader. And we know effective leaders build effective teams, and then it dominoes into an effective organization. I think of a great, well-known example of IBM in the 90s, right? They were number one hardware company. Everyone knew about them. Everyone wanted to work for them. And then the industry changed and software was the way to go. And it got so bad at one point for IBM that they actually reported an $8 billion quarterly loss, and they were facing bankruptcy. But they turned it around. They stared it in the face and they said, hey, we're going to refocus and reskill our entire company, and we're going to focus on software consulting and research. And, if you look at them today, this is decades later, they're doing a wonderful job. When I think about the type of stress and negativity that those leaders had to go through during that time, it's really an amazing story of resilience.
Resilience, inclusive of tenacity, agility, absolutely. I think about, I think the other tech companies have shown that too, right? I think about HPE, I think about Cisco. When you've got a lot of what I call sort of legacy, perpetual, it's tough because your whole infrastructure and everything has to change, and you've got to have transformational leaders who are resilient and willing to go down that path. The one that I always think about though is Blockbuster and Netflix. We all know the story, but Mark Randolph came and spoke to us. I was at an event, and he said they were sitting in that boardroom at Blockbuster. They offered Netflix to Blockbuster for $50 million. That is it, $50 million. And Blockbuster said no. They owned the market. Blockbuster owned the market. So two things. One, Blockbuster was not resilient. They did not see or have the foresight for the future. Two, Mark and the leadership team left that boardroom and said, okay, we've been at this for 5 years. We're going to make this happen. And through that resilient nature, they tweaked their payment fees, they tweaked their late fees, and look where Netflix is today. And there is no Blockbuster. And that is all about resiliency.
Yeah.
So everyone, thanks for joining us today. Next up, we're going to talk about what are the characteristics of a resilient leader and how to become one. Have an awesome day.
Thank you.